and welcome to my home.
Thank you, Greger. You are known on social media to live on the countryside, chopping wood and herding sheep. What can we learn about hens and hen house?
Well, so I have here my hen house, which is built, it's called an A-tractor because it's built on an A-frame, and it's a tractor because you move it around so that the hen can always have new fresh grass. It's a very simple construction. It's just 3 sheets of plywood, a bit like a tent. And on the inside, well, on the inside we have a feeder, water, there is a staircase for the hen to go in and out. They have their resting pins, and they can be under the hen house. And there's a door you can open on the back so they can go out. And I have used, building this, I've used the minimum viable product approach. So I have done as simple construction as possible. And now I've added an infrared light, also another light. And well, the thing is, as you see, the infrared light is on even though it's 10 degrees Celsius. So I would like to put in some form of automation to turn it on only when it's needed, and to make sure that the light is only well, hen need 13 hours of daylight to be productive. And I want to turn it on at 7, turn it off when the sun rises, and then turn it on again when the sun sets, and have it turned on so long that they have 13 hours of light. Currently I'm solving this with just a timer for the light, and well, I just leave the heat on all the time.
Yeah.
It's about 50 watts of power, so it's not a huge.
So this is a good example if you want to do some home automation that we talked in Architecture Corner with Joachim.
Yeah, so I would like to add some computer control for this. Maybe it's not necessary, but it would be a cool project. The thing to think about here is that we're basically outdoors. So we are, it's kind of wet. The hen create lots of dust. There is lots of ammonia gases. So it's it's not even like normal outdoors. The environment is much more aggressive.
We have been talking a little bit about no requirements. How does this fit in when you have a lot of requirements already?
I have lots of requirements, right? I have legal and regulatory requirements for the hen house as such.
Yeah.
I have economic requirements because I don't want to pay $100 per egg.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I also have requirements of, for instance, this is a mobile unit, but that means I must be able to at least drag it along the ground.
Yeah.
The most important thing, I think, is to have the lights automatically controlled.
Yeah.
Heat is the second most important thing. They can't have too much heat, and they can't have too little either.
No. So you need to have some temperature sensor, things like that.
Yes.
So.
Temperature sensor, and I was thinking of having a daylight sensor, but then I realized that that's built into most IoT kits.
Yeah. So it's a nice project. Do you know how to do it?
Well, I have some ideas, but especially the 230 volt relays, I don't know where to find those.
Yeah. Should we call Joachim, because he is good on IoT things?
Well, let's try that.
Yeah. Yeah, hello Joachim. It's me, Casimir. I'm here with Greger and we're talking about IoT in his hen house. Is it possible for you to help us later on? Hi Henrik.
Hi Casimir.
You have been writing a blog post about how to automate Greger's hen house. Could you explain what your solution is like?
I actually proposed two solutions. One using 230 volts and the industrial components. And the other one is more of a do-it-yourself solution using one of these. This is a Raspberry Pi, but my original proposal was an Arduino. But Greger told me he had one of these lying around, so we could use it. In addition to this, we need sensors and some relays. Sensors for measuring temperature in the hen house, and also relays to control the heating and the lights.
Yeah. So you need a computer.
Yeah, this is the computer.
Yeah, and you need some sensors.
Yes.
And you need some relays.
Yes, and in this case, to make it a real IoT, we should probably add a Wi-Fi as well.
Yeah.
Just to make it a bit more fun to play with.
Greger has asked some questions, and one of those is this solution. What happens when the power fails?
When the power fails, you don't have any electricity. It has to recover gracefully and restart once power is back up. And the problems that can happen is that you have a corrupted memory or something like that. And this solution is quite limited into what it can do.
What about the legal requirements and security requirements that he has on his hen house, not only the functional requirements? How can we meet them to assure that we don't get too warm in the hen house, not too cold, and also that no one will hack into the hen house?
Yeah, that's a tricky question. Well, temperature, having one sensor for temperature is probably good enough in most cases, but to secure it, we should have a secondary that could cut the power if it gets too warm. For the security in hacking, there should be a proper firewall installed in the internet connection, and that should be in the incoming connection.
This is a lot of stuff, and from an electrical perspective, how do you assure that it can withstand the temperature and the humidity within a hen house?
My suggestion is that we put it on the outside of the hen house, so we have a sealed box that can withstand high pressure water and dust, and it's I would say an IP67 classification, which means you can put it down into water for about 30 minutes and it should withstand that without leaking. That would be the expensive part of the project.
He's a little bit worried that your solution will be too costly. He said that it will cost more than his hen house.
Probably.
So is this a common problem with IoT today, that it's too expensive to use? And that is the case why you seldom use IoT at home?
Yes, I would say. The savings that you make in reducing energy, that's a small cost compared to the cost of investing in IoT. But on the other hand, we all have to save energy.
What is the cost of this solution, roughly?
I would say about 400 euros.
Yeah.
Maybe 500 if we go for a really expensive casing, but
so this is much more than he paid for his hen house.
Yeah, the eggs will be quite expensive, but it will be a greener hen house, and the hens might have a better, more consistent environment.
Then we will see what Greger has to say about this.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
See if he starts implementing it and tries it out.
Yeah.